Okay, give us a hot second while we go ahead and share this to a couple of groups. Let me share it to my page as well. All right, cool. It's Tuesday, my favorite day of the week. It's Tyrone Gathers Jr., your host of the Sources of KUAW live on KUAW, Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom. We are Kansas City's global community radio station. You can check out this broadcast in a number of different ways. You can hit us up on KUAW.org, type listen now, or you can go to KUAW on your TuneIn app on your mobile device. You can also go to KUAW LPFM 98.5 on Facebook Live, or you can go to Periscope, type in KUAW. You can go to Twitter, type in KUAW. You can also go to YouTube, type in KUAW Radio, and we'll be right there. So you can hit us. I mean, you can check out this broadcast on a number of different modes. KUAW is expanding its reach so we can expand and get more listeners. Please call in if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. 816-599-6893. Or email us at kuaw985@gmail.com. Oh, we there? Okay. All right. All right. We on YouTube. Okay. Today, I met my guest through a fortuitous reason. Saw this young man's post on social media, and I shared it. And then I had to reach out and give him a call. Please tell us who you are, sir. Right here.
My name is Charles Weston, owner of drummagazines.com. It's an online web store, and also we got a storefront coming here in Kansas City, Missouri.
All right. So it's Mr. Weston here with Drum Magazine. And to give you a little background of how I came about it, I was on another show host page, Miss T-Baby. Her show comes on before mine, truth be told. And I looked on her page, and I saw black-owned, and I saw gun shop. I said, wow. That's something that you don't see in a sentence. And I said, well, you know what? Let me go ahead and share this. So I shared it to a couple of pages, and I would say within a matter of minutes, it was comments, reactions, likes, loves, questions, and I said, wow, okay. Left it alone. All weekend, they were just lighting it up. So I reached out to Brother Charles and said, hey, I got to get you on the show, so we can kind of see what's going on.
Couldn't turn that down.
Man, of course. I mean, there were so many questions that people were asking. I'm like, well, let's get them on the air and see what's going on. So the same people that were asking questions on those different Facebook groups, they're now able to watch this show because we did advertise it in those groups too, to let them know that you will be in the studio. So please like and share. I want to thank Mr. Kevin Manning, one of my closest friends and brother, for sharing this. As soon as this popped up, he shared it. So let's talk about the shop, man. I mean, what led you to wanting to be a black man owning a gun store?
Well, honestly, man, I got sort of pushed into the position, but I mean, as far as making it to the gun shop, and it was just demand. I mean, we've been doing this for close to 5 years now. Our goal was just to, really just change the market, the way people see high capacity magazine. For us, that's something that we look at as, fun and exciting. Take the stigmatism out of it. There's a lot of people who just see a high capacity magazine as something that, hey, it's just there to go pray and spray. But if like guns are more than just firearm, guns are more than just self protection and some form of defense. But we say we use it nowadays for hunting, sporting goods, and even just competition guys use it for. But honestly, man, for a lot of guys, it's just an accessory to what you have. Same way we do our homes and our car. We put unnecessary things on them just because. But it got to the point to where everybody rather prefer to come to us and do business with me in particular. So they would ask me for things that we don't even carry, and we'll just get it because we have access to everything. And it got to the point to now where they say, hey, we want to purchase our firearms for you. And we're like, we don't sell guns. But for like 2 years, they kept doing it. So, we tried that. We tried to get our FFL license. We got turned down once only because we didn't have a storefront. So we just put the steps in place. And now that building you see off of 4015 Sterling Avenue, which is 70 Highway in Sterling, with that big old sign that's 5,000 square feet worth of building, I did that for everybody here in the city and across the country. Said, hey, we want to buy our guns from you so they can purchase from us online. And, of course, obviously here in person, right in Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. And earlier you said that you were forced into doing this.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, 'cause like I said, I've had to figure out a way for income. Pretty much after I got shot years ago, and so after finding out that this is the kind of thing that people like, and that was a great income stream for me. We decided to start an actual business 5 years ago. So we did it properly. We took the proper steps. Started that business and did our first gun show out at the Arcade Gun Shows in Kansas City, Missouri, out at the airport. And that first show just took off. And after that, I was like, oh, I'm not going back to work.
Yeah.
And so it just went crazy after that. But the demand pushed me into stay that constantly have to do it. You know, people kept calling, kept saying, "Hey, you got more of this, more of that," and they refer me left and right. We was built, you know, our company was built from referrals. You know, we didn't really advertise much. We was built from referrals from, you know, happy people who was happy with the things we had. You know, we put what we carry all in one place. That's what made us different than other online web stores. Cause that's what we are based. We're an online web store, but we did that different than other. And we traveled across the whole country doing these shows, meeting people face to face. So that's how we grew. So that's when I say force is just more of demand and people saying, hey, you know, you are plugged pretty much. And say we need you. You can't stop. And so I'm like, I want to make sure I get this started for them and, you know, build a team to take care of everybody.
Because I remember when I was talking to you on the phone, you were saying that you were in the midst of traveling. Yep. And then when you first came in the studio, T Baby said, "Oh yeah, I saw you at a gun show."
Yep.
So like the reputation definitely preceded you when you came to the studio.
Definitely.
Now you said you were doing the gun shows for about 5 years. What items? I mean, how did you go about doing it? And did you see your clientele growing year by year as you were going to the gun shows?
Oh, dramatically, year by year. So as far as, you know, like I said, you know, just going about doing it, it's real simple, man. I mean, I used to think that the gun show circuit was like an exclusive deal there. I mean, anybody can sell at a gun show. They don't care if you're selling, you know, hats, you know, while I care. And it has to be gun related. You know, they just want people in a gun show. So, but anybody can go there. You just pay for the table space, and you know, you can start from there, generate an income. But we wanted to make sure we do it legitimate, so we can buy from actual companies and, you know, and get you customers a better price. So we had what everybody had at the gun show already. We just had it at a better price, which everybody couldn't believe. It was like, dang, this is brand new, better price. And so, but that's pretty much how that went. But we traveled show to show in every different city, like I said, from way up to, you know, Chicago, down to Louisiana, Atlanta, Houston, and all kinds of places, even Wichita, Texas, just close places. Several circuits, St. Louis, Memphis, Tennessee. But just traveling at the big circuit, get our name out there. That's the biggest thing we had to do to get out there.
Yeah. So you said that you pretty much word of mouth has been your main source of people getting to know who you are. Do you find the whole word of mouth piece as a strong advocate for your business?
Oh no, it's the best. I mean, it's the best because those you get to, you know, the more regular customers. The customer really want to spend some big bucks and those continued repeat customers because that's how we function. You know, Kansas City supports us, you know, very well. Like I said, that's, you know, we live here, but still, it's not. We can go to other cities. There's still a lot of, you know, brothers and sisters there supportive, but this, you know, the way Kansas City do it is, you know, it's unique. And there's a lot of cities too, just like Kansas City, but I'm impressed that, you know, I can get out here and do this without having a storefront and still be able to make a living off of this, you know, from doing that though. It made it to the point where we are now.
Right. Now you mentioned the key word unique, and I'm going to say it again. You know, it's unique to have a black man owning a gun store. Now you are in a predominantly white field. Now when you go into these shows and these gun shows, and you're like, you know, the only one of us in the room. First of all, are there any other brothers?
Oh, definitely. There's some. It's like two other African American FFL license holders. So I would probably be the third. There, like I said, we'll have our license here soon by the end of the month, and that's when we're gonna, you know, start getting the guns listed on our website and so forth. But there's other black folks out there.
Okay.
You know, as far as going into being predominantly, for us, it's actually a benefit when we go there because believe it or not, even other races they actually prefer to do business with us. But mainly they just said it's just the way we treat each person. You know, we do treat people nice. I mean, we find us a lot of other rude people there at these tables behind these counters. They really just happy that we treat them like a regular person. We don't, cause like a lot of people knew the gun. Right. I was new. I ain't forgot that not one day. So when somebody come to me and say something about a weapon and they have zero clue what to call a clip or a magazine or what type of gun they have, cause you'll be shocked that people buy guns. They don't know what ammunition it takes, so forth and so on. We don't make them feel ignorant about it. You know, we just let them know, hey, show us that, you know, be polite to them, and they happy, and they satisfied. They thankful, like, man, ain't nobody else treated us like this. It don't matter if they was black, white, or whoever. You know, that's what they tell them, say, don't nobody else treat us like y'all treat us, talk to us. We want to spend money with you. When we don't have none, we try to send them to other people. They say, nah, we gonna buy it from you. When you get it, let me know. We gonna come do the business with you. And so, you know, that's just pretty much how it's been all across the country.
Because customer service is key.
That's what I'm learning, definitely. Yeah, big deal. Because I mean, even though it's just the way we are naturally, but after physically hearing people tell us that other people that they spend a lot of money with is treating them funny, but still, it's not even about the money. I don't care if you're the guy who spends $7-8 here with us here. We're gonna treat you as if, you know, you're the guy who was making sure, you know, if you're the reason why we're still in business because you're spending big bucks. It doesn't matter with us because we appreciate every, you know, everything that, you know, that comes our way and thankful for it.
Now, of course, one question is circulating around that with this being, you know, a new venture and it's not common to see us in there. Have you faced any discrimination?
Not at all. No,
Good.
seriously, I haven't. Let me. So this is what, and that's a normal question I get too. So
Mm.
basically, the way the white folks treat us at these gun shows, man, they treat us normal. That's all I ask. But regardless if somebody is have some kind of bigotry towards, they don't say anything.
Right.
I mean, some people I know they are. Like I just remember being at some shows and they try to have the Confederate flag so at the next table to us, and say, hey, do you mind if I set the flags? I tell them, say, hey, I don't mind. Say, hey, brother, we here to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
If people want to still buy their friend, let them do it. It don't bother me none. Like I told them, say even if somebody, long story short, I don't care what folks are doing as far as race wise, as long as you don't actually act on it and come bring that stuff my way.
Exactly.
Or act on it in my presence, even if it's not my way. But other than that, we're good to go. But we don't have that issue. Not at all. Not at these. You'll be shocked, but at these gun shows, man, they treat us like family. They really do.
And it is shocking that when I hear, people who are black or who are Hispanic who are venturing off into areas that are predominantly white, you would think that they would have discrimination, but
I was expecting it while
yeah,
traveling. Definitely, I was definitely expecting it, but I didn't see anything that gave me the impression it was funny. Now, not to say this is the case for them, but long story short, when I get to the show, we've noticed that from what we hear from the promoter, we're bringing a lot of new business to that show. There's people who wouldn't come to go, even here in Kansas City. They're like, oh, I didn't know we can come up there. I'm like, yeah, you can come up there, but I get why they would. You asked, like you said, it's predominantly white. Field. It's kind of weird. Like, is it okay for us to come up there? But no, they didn't know. But yeah, anybody can come up there. Anybody can set up a table up there. So yeah, it's not that way at the show. Of course, it's like that in the rural, man. But at the shows, these people are just trying to get paid, and nobody's actually doing anything to hinder us.
Right.
They may talk about it behind our back, but like I told you, I don't care what you say.
Yeah, as long as they don't stop your money.
As long as it doesn't come my way. I mean. I just don't want to come our way or way to any of our people that's around us. Like, if I hear stories from other customers that people are treating them a certain way, I spread that word. Say, hey, I don't go to that booth. That's the best I can do because I can't just let it slide like that. Yeah. But other than that, I just say, hey, don't deal with this table, don't deal with that table. Because regardless of how they smile at you in your face, when you walk away, they got something to say about you and your people.
Oh, yeah. Of course, I mean, because I teach in a school district where I'm the only. Well, one time I was the only male middle school English teacher. Now I'm the only black middle school English teacher, so I get it. I had someone tell me to my face, the reason why they don't listen to you is because you're a black male. I can say the exact same thing as a white female and get results versus what you can say.
Right.
And I'm like,
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, because my wife had experienced the same thing. She should do shows too, and when she gets to these shows, people, because she's a woman, they just think she doesn't know what she's talking about. Or we both there at the show together. They try to skip past her to me, and I'll point her right back like she can answer that question for you.
Right.
Now I'm not sure if that's just a black woman thing or just a woman thing, period. But I found out also from the white women, they do them like that too. Probably not as much as her, but still they do the white women like that too. Like it take them a while until they see you on a regular basis. Okay, she do know, but yeah, I just pointed to her like, nah, she got you. She just answer that question. Like if she didn't know the question, she'll point it to me, that's what I'm
right. Yeah, partnership. Yeah. Let's see if we have any comments. Mr. Walker, you mind putting the Facebook piece up to see if we have any comments from any people that are viewing? I know we had a lot of questions and wanted to make sure we.
I know that main question when we open, and like I keep telling, we're gonna do a soft opening. That's gonna be around July, June 29th. Honestly, that's our plan to get folks in there. But as far as our actual grand opening, mid-July, we should. When I say grand opening, that means everything. The store can be completely finished. It's gonna look nice and all of that.
Okay. Oh, the address. Okay.
Yeah, so the address, that's 4015 Sterling Avenue. So that's right off of 70 Highway in Sterling. So pretty much that Walmart area that you see out there off of 70 Highway in Sterling, that's where we are. So the old Brothers Pets building, which is what most people know, I think has been there for like probably 30 years or so out there.
Yeah, over there by that Walmart.
But you'll see the sign, man. It's a big, giant sign. It'll look just like the shirt here. It's going to say drummagazines.com on there, firearms and accessories. Because again, we sell ammunition, lights, lasers, mainly high capacity mag. Cause that's our specialty, high capacity. Okay. We just want to get the stigmatism out of having a drum mag or extended mag on your weapon, because you'll be shocked. One thing a lot of people didn't notice is that seriously, when I mentioned competition shooting, there's certain competition that allows you to have higher capacity magazines, and that's when you'll see these guys out there shooting, doing their thing. And I'm talking shooting on target, hitting every target with all 50 rounds or 100 rounds of that magazine that you can carry. But like I said, my goal with this is just to get the stigmatism out and not make it like something to be scary or fearful, man.
Right.
It's a tool. I mean, we're not scared of no one in that house with the baddest kitchen cutlery set at all. I don't care how big the knife is. We look at it in the maze by when it comes to weapons. So you got a lot of them. They might think, hey, this guy might be a little crazy or whatever. I'd be scared to do, but you know, our goal is just make it normal, not make you feel so. And I don't want to say empowered, but not make you not feel so empowered by some guys
Right.
get that liquid courage when they're drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Some people get a weapon and feel that way, but our goal is just make it normal so you can see that hey, everybody has weapons, but they're used for certain things. We're getting to using responsibly. Same way we're comfortable with driving back and forth on the street 2 feet away from cars going head on. Like we trust everybody with that. But the thing is just self protection is definitely important, but still we want to get more than just self protection out. Do it for a collection.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
close to the microphone.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Now one question that kept popping up. Someone asked if you was gonna have like a gun range.
Well, yeah, that's the goal is to come, and so at that shop we're very likely to have a gun range there sometime soon, probably in about 6 months or so. But that's going to be a private gun range there. But we'll eventually get our own gun range. But in the meantime, I do plan on partnership up, with another gun shop that's close to us. They have a gun range there, so there's a way to give our customers, somewhere to go shoot that's only 10 to 15 minutes away from us, and at a decent price. So that's our goal is partnershiping up with them in the meantime. But the gun range that we have will be private. It'll be more to promote other businesses, so other business owners can come out there, even like you for radio show for a while. There's a lot of companies who are, we'll call it 2A friendly, Second Amendment friendly. And so I've learned that Second Amendment community loves supporting other businesses and companies who are supportive of Second Amendment rights. And so let's say if you're one of those guys here, at KUAW, we'll get you out there and talk about what you do. You'll get some of our customers, we get some of yours. So pretty much it's more of networking, but we definitely get everybody out there.
Yeah, definitely networking. Yeah, and I know you nailed the question about the gun range. Now you also said you're gonna sell high capacity magazines. Now, if someone once your store opens up, what can people look at as far as like to see inside your shop?
Yeah, so when you come into the shop, you're going to see pretty much a magazine for almost everything that exists. I mean, you're gonna have ammunition, lights, lasers, eventually we'll have bulletproof vests, everything that you would expect to have at a gun show more. It's 4,000 square feet worth of space.
Wow, that's a lot of space.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot. And basically it's still going to grow by demand. So if we find out, like I told people, you say you want fishing poles there. Hey, we'll make it a sporting goods. So you want fishing poles, that's what it is. you want targets so you can go shoot. You want some, bulletproof targets, shoot at metal targets so you can go practice shooting, we'll do that. Whatever they want, that's what we're going to do. You want shot spiders, we'll do that. Whatever it is, you will get it. Holster wise, we'll start carrying it. A lot of stuff we don't carry right now. Like holster is not a normal thing we carry. Bulletproof vest not something we carry, but we've always special ordered these things for folks whenever they need.
Okay, so you do special orders
all day long.
Okay.
So we'll get it. So we'll have AR-15 build kits there. We'll have Glock build kits there. Whatever exists, that's our goal to have it. We teaming up with a lot of different local people across the local gun gun companies across the city that you'll normally see at the KCI gun show. Those, like I said, those guys are our friends there, but we'll have their products in our building as well.
Now there's one particular weapon. It's gonna lead to another question too that I talk about a lot with friends of mine. The judge, the governor, the one that shoots the shotgun shells
and stuff like that. We'll get, man. There's so many neat things out there, And while I'm speaking on the guns, I know one question I hear a lot. A lot of people want to know, how do you purchase a weapon? I think that's the biggest question, guys. So when you come to the gun store, at the end of the day, I'm just make this clear. We have no say so on if you get to take that weapon home with you or not. That's what's called an FBI background check. You fill out a form, have your ID, pay for your weapon. They can run a background check, and the background check says, yes, you can have it. Most people can walk out the store with it within, just like that. It's an instant. Some people may be delayed. Some people may be denied. But whatever the case is, there is a process. And, there's a way to legally own and purchase a weapon. That's simply to walk into a legitimate gun store like ours, fill out the proper paperwork and purchase it and go home. And so, like I said, as long as you pass a background check, you'll be good to go, meaning that there's no restraining orders on you. You don't have any felons, stuff like that. So some things you can kind of know if you don't have it. Maybe you might be on the FBI watch list. That, believe it or not, that happens. Some people have common name. But delays doesn't mean you did anything wrong. You might have a real, like I said, common name. Like I said, the common names, and so that's stuff you want to watch out for, or don't be, don't feel bad because you get delayed. But it's just like a 3-day delay. You wait, come back, pick it up, and you got your firearm.
Yeah, for example, like with my man Armand Carr, not a common name.
Yep. Yeah. So you should be good to go.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So you
But
go out and buy. We've been talking about that.
yeah, but Jacksons, Browns, and Smiths, you know,
Yeah.
that's
Common.
common, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Very common.
You're gonna they're
It's,
gonna
it's, it's gonna happen, especially if it's like
yeah
like your name's like John Brown.
yeah that's
They might get you confused with the one that when
ex- exactly. And even Mike Brown,
Yeah.
I hate to mention him up like that, but yeah, but that's actually a common
Right.
name. Yeah, so you're probably gonna get delayed, so they can make sure it's you. But but that's all. It's a simple process, but it's at our store. It's gonna be all legal purchase. So a lot of people think you walk into the store like it's a candy store and buy it and walk
Right.
out.
Walk out.
So while I got some of our listeners here locally, I just want to save you time. If you already know that, hey, I got to fill out paperwork. Yes, you do. Or if you realize you got restraining orders on you, or anything that's violent or something like that, you're likely to get denied.
Yeah.
But that don't mean don't try, because you're not going to get in trouble for trying to fill out paperwork. It's still going to be documented and kept on record for close to 5 years, but you definitely don't feel afraid to go fill it out if you're not sure. The worst they're going to say is no.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's not like they're gonna
Yeah, you're not
Sca-
going to
yeah.
jail if you're a felon trying to buy a gun. It's not. I mean, you shouldn't. You should already know it's a denial, but still, you're not going to get in trouble for that. It's the
Yeah.
ATF job and FBI job to say, hey,
their
this guy
job.
doesn't qualify.
Because some people think like if you walk in and something isn't right, you would say, wait right here, and you push the button, they come get you.
at
It's not
all.
like that.
No,
Yeah.
but that.
Yeah.
No, but that's common. Though. Some people
Right, yeah,
really
some people think that.
and that's what leads to a lot of people buying guns illegally off the street,
Mm.
and that's what we want to prevent. What I've learned is that with legal gun ownership, when you come in there, especially as a young person, you come in there at 18 or 21, you go buy a weapon. Once you learn that, hey, you do commit a crime like illegally, whether it's whatever the case may be, you can lose that gun rights.
Mhm.
And losing that gun right now, you can be like how some of these felons are. Like the reason why so many felons you see get pulled over with a gun, it's not because they're out there trying to do something criminal. These guys got probably a simple felony, a non-violent felony. But now they're trying to make sure they keep their family safe. Because
Yeah.
again, this is America. We have these weapons to
Second
protect
Amendment right.
ourselves. But now you got somebody with a non-violent felony can't own a weapon, and he's making a decision. He say he'd rather be carried by 6 and judged by 6, carried by 12. What I'm saying there. So
Yeah.
he gets the weapon anyway. But now he gets pulled over for a traffic violation. Something simple. Maybe he was speeding, he didn't realize it. Now you're in jail for doing what you thought was right. So I'm hoping that at least with encouraging more gun ownership, especially even at a young age, just letting folks know that, hey, imagine losing your rights. Because I've heard these stories before of people going to jail, good guys who turn their life around, but they have felonies, but they have a weapon on them, and now they get pulled over or in an incident that has nothing to do with the gun or violence, but they're caught with it, and that's it for them.
Yes, yeah, it's a wrap. Now, there's another myth that's out there too, that you can go to a gun show and it's easier for people to buy guns at gun shows than a gun store. Now, could you put that myth to rest?
Same concept apply at the gun show. You have to come in there and fill out paperwork. It's that simple.
Right.
You have to. That's how they go. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still legal to do person-to-person sales, but still, if you're buying from a dealer there, which is what happened, you're gonna have to fill out paperwork.
Okay.
I mean, and even like let's just say, speaking of, even outside the gun show, it's like with me and you, Tyrone. Like, I can still sell you my personal weapon if I chose to. I encourage everyone, if you're going to sell your legal any weapon, you get a bill of sale. There's a proper way to do it. Some people want to get rid of it, but yeah, you get a bill of sale, and just get that person's ID information, put it down. If they don't want to do that, don't sell it. But this way, when let's say hypothetically, Tyrone, you lose that weapon and it gets stolen. At least this way, I know the date that I sold it, and I know the person I sold it to.
Yeah, so it's documented. And
yeah, so the
recorded.
reason why I mentioned, like, I just want to make sure that because some people don't want guns, so they either leave it there or it gets stolen and forget about it, or they give it away, or not knowing what to do with it. But at least it's proper ways to do it. So at least you got a paper trail of where it goes. When something happens, they know what happened with it. But again, it's not something you have to do. I encourage it. But definitely at a gun show, man, when you walk in there, you're going to have to do the same thing you have to do at my booth. My booth or at the gun show, at the storefront, you're going to have to fill out the proper paperwork and get approval from, the ATF and everything.
That's smart. Now, we have another question here. Do you sell gun insurance? Now,
that's a good thing there. The answer is no, and we are going to, put you in front of the right people. Right now, who we actually use is Texas Law Shield, but there's a lot of other places that do that, and that's what we're going to do. There's black-owned gun insurance company too, and that's important. So the answer is no, we don't. But at our shop, we're definitely going to have several places in there because I recommend everybody have it. The reason is because, like, even with me, if something was to happen to me, I have to use my weapon, or even if I just have questions about, the legality of, hey, do I have to follow this law, or can I take my gun here, or there's a cop getting ready to pull me over. What do I need to tell them here while I'm in this particular state? They're going to answer that phone, and that's important. But yeah, if I have to defend myself, me personally, with the insurance I have, I don't have to necessarily call the police first. I can go call my insurance, my insurance guys, my lawyers. I would say not insurance, because that's technically what they are. They're lawyers there. But I call them, and they're going to handle everything.
Now, could you explain gun insurance to people who may not know about the concept?
Well, and to answer this question, probably realize, yeah. So I was speaking of, having a lawyer on hand for that. But yeah, but the insurance is just really to protect you, and really to cover those legal fees, because you can defend yourself legally and then catch a serious lawsuit. You know how even, I hate to bring it to cops, but that cops can do something and they have insurance to back them up. That's what covers all these legal fees and and that money that they have to try to go, make everybody else look bad, make the victim look like the bad guy.
Right. Yeah.
That's insurance. That's money behind that to do that. So that's what that insurance is. That insurance is to protect you and fight for you when somebody tries to sue you, even though you defend yourself. But just imagine you shoot the bad guy, break into your home, and he still sues you and somehow win. It's like, what? Not only do you get charged with a crime, but he can still sue you for them injuries somehow?
Yeah.
Because maybe you slipped up one certain way or said the wrong thing. And that's what that insurance and, having lawyers on your back for it is. So I definitely say get both.
Yeah,
it's definitely needed, but, research on your company.
Got another question, too?
They got a question on the watch party.
Okay.
They want to know, would you recommend a laser sight for a handgun? Is that something that you would carry?
Oh, it would definitely carry them up. It's personal preference. For me, I'm a flashlight guy, but guess what? Having both is even better.
Okay.
I'm a guy that says, the laser is nice only when it's a high quality laser there, and it's somewhere where it doesn't change you from having to change your holster. Some guys carry their gun in a waistband, but if you can carry that laser, like we have what's called guide ride laser, that's literally inside the barrel of your gun. I mean, almost inside. It's in the guide ride spring is what it's called. So right below the barrel, that's what it is. Those are nice. We'll carry those. We'll carry crimson trace lasers. The crimson traces are nice, meaning that as soon as you put your hand on that gun, that laser is going to be on and nice and accurate. So the lasers are nice, but you got to think about what happens at night when you can't see your target. It's useless. So a flashlight, I'm more of a flashlight guy, because I'm not sure if you ever had a flashlight put in your face, but you can't see much in front of it. So I say flashlight first, but still lasers are nice because you don't have, it's quick acquisition, so lasers are nice.
Yeah, that was a good question. And as a friend of mine who's a real big gun enthusiast, matter of fact, I kind of, follow him on what he does. He's watching this show right now too, so I'm glad my brother's watching it. Now, we were talking prior to the gun insurance, and also when someone comes into your house and defending yourself. There was a story, I remember when I first started getting into gun ownership, and I asked a question about defending myself in the household. There was a story that was told to me about a woman who a man broke into her house, and he was trying to inflict harm on her. She had I believe they said she had a judge.
All right.
And she fired the whole thing on the guy. I mean, unloaded the whole clip on him.
Yep, that's what they train us to do.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, right.
You get your license, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, she definitely shot to kill. And when the police came, they said the manner in which she defended herself, they brought charges on her.
That's very true.
But I mean, as far as the details goes, they said that when she shot him, he was up against the wall, and it was a big display. And
I'm gonna tell you like this: anything y'all hear me say from here, when it comes to legal stuff, don't take it as being accurate. Do your research and everything. Reason is laws change daily. So even if I was accurate on these things, that's how I go. But this in that scenario, things like that do happen, and that's what having a lawyer on your side is for. Because when the time comes in, that's what they're gonna say these things to you. They're gonna say things, or you're gonna say things that you think like, hey, you didn't do nothing wrong. It's impossible for you to do anything wrong. But I'm basing this off of what I know I plan to do, and what I, not only want to say encourage. This is just me personally. If you come into my home, I am going to empty whatever magazine I have on me. Whether it's a 100-round magazine or 50 rounds, I'm going to empty it with no delay on it. It gets tricky once you go to reload, because then they get to say, even if you're outside of your house, the tricky part is when you get to reload. The goal of defending yourself is there a threat? So let's say hypothetically there was a real threat, right? Somebody points a weapon at you. You shoot this guy before he actually gets to get a bullet off. But you shoot him and he falls down, the gun falls down. He's no longer a threat, right? We notice they're no longer a threat, right? So now you all of a sudden walk up to this guy and shoot him again. Now you did that out of, or it's going to be perceived as doing it out of anger, not out of because you were still scared and defending yourself.
Yeah.
So that's why most people, lawyers and everybody else will tell you, keep squeezing till it's gone.
Yeah, it's that gray area. Yeah.
Because the weapon is the the use of deadly force is to stop the threat, and if anybody can somehow prove that that threat was stopped, even though you waited, it could be 5 seconds. They can tell that you waited and that or the guy was fleeing or whatever the case, you stopped. But I tell it my recommendation is, like I mentioned earlier. Again, don't take any of that what I'm saying as accurate, because laws change daily. But if you're going to defend yourself, whatever you do, make sure it is the absolute last resort, because as Tyrone mentioned, he's heard of cases, and that's true. It's been people who legitimately, in our eyes, defended themselves, but in the eyes of the law, it's not. It didn't become self-defense at that point.
Yeah, because she got hit with some stuff hard too. Now, another friend of mine, he was working private security at a foundation where I work, and he was getting me into buying guns and protecting myself. And he said, "Look," he said, "why don't you call the police department, and if you have any questions about them, they can transfer you down to the gun sergeant." Funny story behind this. I called the South Division of the Police Department, Kansas City, and I just asked the guy, I said, "Can I have the the gun sergeant?" "Yeah, sure." So transfer me down there. Man answered the phone. He says, "May I help you?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm looking at gun ownership." And he started, kind of telling me some of the same things you were saying too. And funny thing, when we got done with the conversation, he said, "Hey, if you ever want to, come down and we can shoot together." And I'm like, "No, I'm good. I'm
Yeah, no, I weird. I get
I said, I'm not. I don't want to do that, man." I said, "I don't know." I just asked a question,
Right.
and then it was funny that I actually taught at a school, and one of the principals was a retired cop, nice guy. I mean, no harm, no foul, real nice guy. And I was talking to him about firearms, and told him what I was interested in. He told me what he had, a whole list. He said, "Hey, if you're not doing anything one of these weekends, want to get together and shoot? I'd like to shoot with you." I said, "No, I'm good." I said, I just felt very uncomfortable with him being a police officer, asking, invite me to come out and shoot. Not saying that I don't like the police. I just felt very uncomfortable based off of what I've been through with police and especially
it's a normal
the normal thing. So, I mean, if someone was new to the game, saying, "Hey, I saw the show, I'm interested in gun ownership, what should I do?" Because I don't feel comfortable telling someone, call the police department, because I didn't feel comfortable calling the police department, asking those questions. I didn't have anyone that I can directly come to.
Right. Yeah. Well, folks, and we get this a lot. I get a lot of people come to us ask, about purchasing weapons, but like I kind of mentioned earlier, man, it's a simple process. There's nothing to be worried about, but definitely, once you do get this weapon, which I probably should have been touching on multiple times, but safety is key when it comes to these firearms. I get a lot of people say, when I get the weapon, should I lock it up and things like that? That's your preference. I'm not a guy that locks up weapons. I educate my kids. We get rid of the curiosity. I think that's the biggest problem with our kids, taking these weapons and playing with them while you're gone, or shooting somebody by mistake. Even when it comes to adults, again, safety, and again, the biggest key factor is that we hear these stories about somebody cleaning their gun. I got a lot of guns. I clean them. I never had a chance where it can go off. You know why? Because there's steps you take before you do this, and that's one: make sure that weapon is clear. Two, even when that weapon is clear, treat it like it's loaded, point in the safe direction, and keep your finger away from that trigger. You do those things, nobody should get hurt while you clean this weapon. Even if you don't know what you're doing, you squeeze that trigger on an empty gun, what happens? You hear a click. But a click bang, you can't take that back.
No, of course not.
Yeah, and that's so. Safety is definitely it, man. But yeah, gun ownership is simple. I know another question I get a lot, like, what gun should I buy? Because some people aren't buying guns for some of the reasons I am. I buy guns for honestly to go advertise. I buy guns because I like the way they look. Every gun I purchase is not for a realistic purpose. There's some guys who only purchase weapons because they want a hunting gun. They want a gun for close quarter combat. They want a gun for, if it's 4 or 5 guys or whatever the case may be. But the guns I recommend is get you a semi-automatic weapon. For most people know what a Glock is, so I mention that only because most folks know what it is. But get you a handgun like a Glock, which would be a semi-automatic weapon. Definitely a shotgun, and that's basically those 12 gauges or 14 gauge or 20 gauge. But the shotgun is that bullet that spreads out. You don't necessarily have to aim that. But I definitely recommend every household have that, because at least in the middle of the night when that bump comes, in most cases, you know, as soon as you rack that slide, bad guy gonna stop.
Yeah.
But if you shoot that, you know, you're not likely to miss at a close range. That's what that's for. And a rifle for several things, hunting, and if you know some serious happen. But those three guns you should definitely start with. You know,
Yeah.
some kind of rifle, some kind of handgun.
I'm glad
some
you
kind of
said that.
shotgun.
That's like a good formula because you know the handgun, you know, starting out shotgun, rifle. I know I saw some shells yesterday, and I remember when I was watching an old Western movie, they referred to a shotgun as scattergun because
Exactly.
it blurts out.
Exactly.
Yeah. We got a caller online. Okay.
Terrence
Terrence.
on line 1.
All right. We need to put these on.
Yes, you do.
All right.
Where I'm at right here.
Yep. You want the black? You on the cool with the pink ones?
Yeah. No, I don't find, man.
Okay,
no, I
all
want to
right,
keep.
all right, okay,
Hey,
okay.
these are headphones.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
all.
Well, you know what? I know some people are. Oh, give me those. You know.
Hey, dog.
All right.
I'm good, man.
Caller, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Terrence, you have a question?
No, I had a few. I just wanted to. I called you guys. I seen you and I heard you talking about guns. I just wanted to make you guys aware. You guys do know that we have a black gun club here in town, right?
No, sir.
Okay. And what's the name of the Black Gun Club?
The national organization is called NAGA, and then there's NAGA's KC's chapter. You can go to the website.
Definitely, yeah.
And check it out on
NAA.
Facebook. It'll really help you guys out. And I'm surprised we hadn't stopped in your store. We drive past there just to go to our meetings all the time. It's NAG. Hold on, so I can say it right.
Yeah, because I believe it's NAAGA. I think that's why I didn't mention it earlier. I don't want to screw up the acronyms on it.
Yeah. NAAG.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Yeah.
I'm trying
Okay.
to get off the web.
Yeah, we definitely make that connect right now.
Yeah, but no, I'm looking at it
yeah,
now.
it's called here now.
Okay.
It's called NAGA. And
Yep.
It's the KC chapter. It's
Oh yeah.
NAAGA.
Yep, that's
Look,
it.
looking right at it. National
North American African American Gun Association. So it's NAAGA. I can't say it.
National
Yeah, it's
African
called
American
NAGA.
Gun
Look it up. It's just
Association.
NAAGA.org.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also a KC chapter
Yep,
as well.
sure is. Yeah, no, so
And
he's
we
accurate
also
about
teach.
that.
They teach self-defense classes. They teach concealed to carry classes.
Yep.
And we go over gun ownership. And the chapter's steady growing, so it'd be pretty good to
Definitely.
check it out.
All right. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yeah, but no, definitely follow him on Facebook, guys. Yeah, you can look him up and you'll see him there. But that's for us. When you're
Mhm.
looking for something for us, because that's what folks are normally asking. What he
Yeah,
just
I said
mentioned.
it
That.
right. It's NAAGA.
Yep,
Mhm.
NAAGA.
.co. That's the national,
I'm
and then
like
there's a
that right
KC
now.
chapter as well. So
Yep.
you guys really need to check that out and help promote it and get us more membership because, like I said, and like you said, women is the fastest growing. We're starting to get more and more women in there as
Oh,
well.
definitely.
So, and we have a woman trainer too, gun trainer too. So
Okay. And I noticed that when I typed in NAAGA, there's also the KCM Mo chapter also.
Yep.
yeah, that's
So,
what I said. That's
okay, so
KCMO
like that one.
chapter, yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
We meet the second Sunday of every month.
Second Sunday of every month. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, I'm glad y'all called in because just know I ain't forget about you. I'm like, man, I don't want to screw that name up because I don't have it up there. But definitely,
Yeah.
that's definitely it. So follow them on Facebook, guys, man. So when you know,
Yeah,
like I
I'll make
mentioned
sure I'll stop by. I drive past your gun store every day. I'll make sure I'll stop by and I'll give you somebody's card and I'll make sure I hook you up with at least the president or whatnot.
Definitely, Terrence. Yeah, because I follow you guys on our Facebook page too, man. So I definitely appreciate. I've seen some of your members already up there. You know, they come up to the gun shows too. So, but now everybody's around. So I looking forward to see you guys out
Okay.
there.
And can we also share this video to your page as well? Are you still there? Okay, might have dropped off. Okay. Well, yeah, we'll definitely, Naga, the KCMO chapter, definitely look that up because I'm looking at it right now and already I'm seeing a lot of things on here that's catching my attention. Now, there is one thing. Thanks for calling in, Terrence, too. Oh, and before I jump in to my next piece, we do have another question.
Well, you had a comment, I guess, to what you were talking about before. Forrest Tyson said, cops are the best to go to the range with. They provide ammo. LOL.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
don't pass up this chance to shoot somebody, especially somebody you trust if they're
Right.
providing the ammo. Because when you get into this, you're gonna see that's where the money goes.
To the ammo.
Yeah, to the.
Well, I
ammunition.
didn't know that gun sergeant. I didn't want to go up in there and he was like, "Hey, shoot with this," and then I want, But we do have a question here. It says, "Do you all clean guns?"
The answer is no. We personally do not. Now, here's the go though. When we're there, like I said, these things are going to come along as we go. We're going to have a gunsmith there. We're
Okay.
definitely gonna have somebody who can customize weapons there too, because people want that. When I say customize, I mean if you're a guy who wants your gun pink, it's pink. You want it blue, it's blue. You want it chrome, that bad boy's all chrome. However you like it, we gonna get it. You know, so that's what we're gonna have there. We're gonna have a gunsmith. So like I said, people guns malfunction or whatever the case, they just could be bad or they're old. And so when some people say clean, I'm getting the impression that you mean not just dirty. You know, that thing is probably rusted and stuff too. A gunsmith or gun restoration guy, we're going to have these people at our store eventually once we find the right people and hire them, which we are looking for.
And I'm sure with this video being shared around a lot, I'm sure you'll be seeing people coming your way.
Yeah.
Yeah, most def. Now, you talked about the concealed carry licenses and everything. Now, Missouri is an open carry state.
Definitely.
I remember when I went to Walmart, I saw a lot of guys walking around with their pistols out and everything.
Yeah,
there was that tripped me out, and I'm like, why in Walmart? And then someone said, well, you know, it's open carry state.
Yeah.
I noticed, and I remember, and I asked a friend of mine who's real deep into firearms. He said, yeah. He said, Missouri is an open carry state. He said, however, I wouldn't recommend you do that because you're walking around and you're advertising what you have.
That's accurate.
Yeah, and when he said that, it just reminded me of the young man I saw at Walmart walking around with his gun out, and he was inebriated. And of course, the police had to go over there and talk to him about a few things.
Yeah. Oh, that's highly illegal, also.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. He was extremely. He was like Dean Martin drunk.
Oh yeah, nah. That's just FYI, guys. When you carry a firearm, that whole drinking thing that you might like to do.
Yeah.
Trust me, I wouldn't do it. You one of them guys that like to get drunk at Westport and then go hop in your car and hey, trust me, you get pulled over and you also drunk with that weapon. That's a problem. You know, you'll be in trouble for that. I'll put it like that. So you know, me owning a gun as long as I have, I'm pretty much always sober, so I can be in control of whatever these situations may be. But yeah, so there's like I said, there's rules to these things, man. Here, even when it comes to being associated with even marijuana, which is hopefully be fully legal eventually, so not to deter these things. But yeah, guns and drugs, just bad combination legal wise. I'll just put it like that.
Now, with the concealed carry, now Missouri is now a concealed state.
Yeah. It's not required to have a concealed carry license to carry your weapon on you.
Now, although it's not required, do you still recommend people go through it?
Definitely. Here's why. Because I know y'all don't stay in Kansas City all day long, right? You travel. Not every place reciprocate our laws, and so having that license will definitely help you. But also when you travel and still find out what's legal in your, where the state you're going to. Because just because in Missouri, let's say, for example, I can have this 30-round magazine on my gun. I step into California, New York, or New Jersey, or some places that, or District of Columbia where these things are illegal. I could be facing time all for having a magazine that's legal in my state. Just to give you a better example, I'm not sure if it's happening to y'all. You heard stories, but you could have a certain amount of tent here in Missouri, and you call over to Kansas, try to get over there to the Bass Pro Shop or whatever the case may be, and now all of a sudden your tent is illegal, and you can somehow legally get pulled over and get a ticket. So same concept. So the answer is yes. It's not required. I recommend it, highly recommend it. So I say do it anyway. I forget the price, but it's cheap. I believe I spent like $80 to get mine done, and then you renew it over and over. There's several places that can do conceal and carry training. The National African American Gun Owner Association we just mentioned, those guys definitely, I'm sure they got conceal and carry instructors there. We will have these things too down the line. But in the meantime, that's not the main focus, but we're going to give it to you guys because even over the years we've been asked, like, hey, do you do conceal and carry training? I'm like, nah, you need to be an actual licensed instructor. Do it. Not just anybody can
do that.
Train you necessarily. Legally to give it so your license, so you can have the license. But this process is simple, guys. I mean, I definitely recommend you do it. It can even be done online, which is, I think that sucks, but I think doing it in person where you actually go shoot these weapons is better. So for the guys that feel like, hey, I need a little bit more education than just reading a book, and you want to get out there, with someone, I recommend you contact an organization, and get out there and actually shoot the firearm, when you go shoot it.
Now, when you said the whole thing about the state line piece, now back in the 60s and 70s, that's how they was getting brothers. Taking a pistol, going across state line. Because when you do that, then they try to hit you with some other stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it was, I mean, because we have a comment right here that got text to me and said, use common sense with that. And it's like you said, if you're going to travel state to state, find out what's going on because you don't want something small like that to be huge. Because, I mean, when I think about getting pulled over with a pistol, I think about Philando Castile, and Of course, there was a video.
Sometimes it
yeah.
don't matter what.
Yeah.
If you do it right, well, we know that.
Right. Yeah. Even when you do it the right way, they still come at you.
But make that attempt.
Right.
You know, at least. You know, and speaking of still traveling, some guys don't just travel by cars. You travel by plane. You're like, man, hold on. I heard about the I forget who's the guys that check you at the airport.
The marshals, TSA.
Yeah, TSA. Yeah. So it's real simple. You know, I went to New York. I hopped on a plane, went to New York. I didn't leave without my Glock. You know, so I brought it. One thing I didn't do, which I'm glad I didn't get caught with, I keep, it's a 17-round magazine. That 17-round magazine is illegal in the state of New York, man. It's always been illegal. But again, this was years ago. I wasn't doing my, you know, my part. I didn't have Charles on here, you know, from Drum Magazine to tell me, say, hey, double check the laws before you travel. I didn't know this. So I got lucky because they have locked people up for what I'm about to mention. So I called TSA, and, you know, back on the TSA, you call them and they'll tell you exactly how to travel with your firearm. You get clarity over and over from them how to do it. When you get there, you get clarity again, making sure you're doing it right. Say, hey, I want to make sure I'm traveling this right. You know, what's the proper way for me to get my firearm on this plane? Which is simple. They're going to tell you to bring it in an approved case, have the ammunition out of it, the magazine separated, and the gun open and locked inside the thing, and a TSA approved gun carrying case. And they're going to lock it up for you, put it on a plane, and when you get off, it's going to come across the conveyor belt the same way your luggage do.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So I didn't know that.
It literally comes across
Wow.
the conveyor belt, which I didn't like. I'm like, is that my damn... is that my gun?
Yeah, because I'm like,
Let me get my Glock before
yeah.
somebody... You would think that they would, you know, have it somewhere else. Hopefully things change. This was 5 years ago.
Wow.
But hopefully things change and they pass it to you when you get off that.
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
get
Or they
off.
lock it up with the captain or something.
But yeah, but I was in there. I'm riding around in a rental car and everything. Got my little 17-round mag on me. I got lucky. Imagine about I could have defended myself out there and still, if they chose to, which they likely would have chose to, went to jail.
Wow.
And I didn't do nothing wrong besides have something legal here in Kansas City, which is a 17-round mag. We ain't talking 30 rounds and 50 rounds. We're talking 17. All because I went 1 round over 10. You know, out there, I could have got in trouble. So watch these things, read your laws.
Yeah, know y'all.
You can contact the sheriff's department, prosecuting department, the ATFs out there. Those guys should know the answer. Those are guys prosecute. I just tell guys to call them. I don't even call a lawyer sometimes. The ATF and, you know, the prosecuting attorneys, the state prosecutors out there can't answer that question. Yeah, there's a problem there, but they normally can answer that. You find that in each state, the state prosecutor, because those are the people who's going to charge you once you get in trouble anyway. So if they can't answer that, I don't know who can give me the right answer on that.
Right. Okay. Now we got another question here. Due to COVID-19 and the fear of martial law, there were a lot of gun purchases, and there are a lot of back orders on guns. How long can one expect to wait for a gun during this time of purchase?
Oh, well, here's the thing. If it's in stock, immediately. Now, realistically, what's already knows about to happen with us, I'm basing this off of demand. Like, and that's the only thing I don't like about getting it started right now. You know, we have a way to get a bunch of guns. We have the finance to get a bunch of guns in our store. What's about to happen, even in mid-July, we still probably won't have much, and it's not because we can't, you know, afford anything. They're sold out because of the whole COVID-19 and emergency and things like that. People are panicking. And everybody's trying to be a new gun owner, so it's drying up the market.
Okay.
But the answer is you have it immediately, but realistically, yes, the things are going to be gone. You just have to pay for it in advance is my recommendation, so that way when it comes, you get it first.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause I know we got another caller that just called in. We're going to get them screened. And... no? Okay, cool. All right. Somebody for Mr. Walker. Probably a bill collector or something. Now, I was reading somewhere. It did say that the NRA had a greater influx of African Americans buying guns and requesting membership to the NRA around this time.
Yeah, and the reason they requested, the NRA, which is not me personally, I'm not for signing with the NRA, but the reason why they're requesting NRA because that's the most common and popular name we hear. CNN's advertising the NRA, everybody else.
Right.
If they was advertising NAGA, the guy mentioned earlier, everybody would be going with them, but they go with the NRA because that's who's advertising most. But me personally, I just don't think that the NRA is for the African American community. I'm gonna tell you now that it is not. They can say what they want, but it is not. And that's why nobody ever see me signing with those guys. I've never have and never will. I mean, we know the history of that company, man.
Of course,
whether they transform or change or not, y'all a little too late. Rather go with somebody else, who started from the beginning for being for us. Go from there if I'm going to support them.
It's all about where you want to put your information in.
Yep.
Now, we have a few more moments left, and I want you to, again, give everyone contact information on how they can get contact with you, your store, address, all that good stuff.
Definitely. All right. So the way you can get a hold of us, guys. So definitely check our website. So when I repeat over this information, you wondering, hey, I didn't get the Instagram page, I didn't get the Facebook page. If you go to our website, drummagazines.com, that's DRUM, and then magazines plural with the S.com. Go to our contact us section. You'll see our Facebook page link in the contact us. Just click it. Hover over it, click it. You'll find our Instagram page, by the way, is Charles Lee West 03. So that's CharlesLeewes 03, where we have, I believe, close to 34,000 followers, baby.
Wow.
Yeah, so 34,000 followers there that we have on there. And that way you can see us actually test and shoot these products, because I'm out there shooting, AR-15 for 100-round drum, 150-round drum.
Man.
Shooting AKs with 100-round drums, shooting fully automatic weapons, and even little guns. Like I'm talking baby 50, like Smith & Wesson Shield 380s. Baby guns with 50-round and 30-round drums. Running flawlessly. Facebook page is drummagazines.com. You'll find us there also. But you'll see the logo, man. You'll see that, man. You'll see it there. The same way you see on our storefront. Speaking of storefront, that address 4015 Sterling Avenue, Kansas City, Missouri 64133, and again that's Kansas City, Missouri 64133, right off of 70 Highway and Sterling Avenue. Most people are familiar with that Walmart that's over there, where the old, I think, was that the Blue Ridge Mall? Was that?
Yeah, Blue Ridge Mall used to be there.
Yeah. So, because believe it or not, I found out that some guys ain't been over there that long, and they still think the Blue Ridge Mall is there. I'm like, where y'all been going? It's been gone for a long time.
Maybe they were shut in, quarantined.
There we go. So I say that, they're probably, hey, I didn't know it was a mall. Yeah, and I used to be a mall there, but some, believe it or not, some older folks still, believe it's there, but it used to be there. So, but that's where we are. So drummagazines.com. Instagram page is our most entertaining. That's how we do the main advertising and bring the new product. We're also going to tell people our opening day for sure, but realistically, from what I'm seeing, June 29th, you should be able to come into our soft opening. We're not going to necessarily advertise that, but the folks who hear it, June 29th, you should be able to come in there. I expect to have our grand open. When I say grand open, our store should be up and running. The trained staff fully. The store decoration is there. As many guns we could actually acquire at the time, also there.
Okay. And when you have your grand opening, is it possible for KUAW to come in and?
Oh, I need you there.
All right.
All
right. We will be there. We will do a live broadcast from your shop. Definitely.
Definitely need you there, man.
Okay.
But again, 4,000 square feet worth of storefront, man. From what I'm seeing and what I did my calculations on, that actual gun area, that's bigger than Cabela's and Bass Pro, man. And I'm not talking that whole store. I'm talking about their gun area. That store, our area should be larger than they sell.
Right. Well, Charles, definitely want to thank you for coming in.
Definitely, Tyrone, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, brother.
And I will be definitely supporting your store, supporting you, supporting what you do. This broadcast was a very, very informative broadcast during this time. Gun ownership is your amendment. It is your constitutional right. Also, it is your God-given right to protect yourself.
Definitely.
So, with saying that, be smart if you want to pursue gun ownership. Seek out advice from experts like Charles or NAAGA. Go out and do your research.
Definitely.
And keep in mind that, this is something that, it is for you as well. This is Tyrone Gethers Jr., your host of the Source of the Inkwell. And in the Inkwell, education is like ink. And just like ink, it overflows. Let it stain, let it be permanent. God bless. See you next week. And we're looking forward to that grand opening.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you guys.
All right.